Joel,
Yes, sir.
we're in the Northeast.
That is true. It's a snowy northeast.
Well, right now it's snowy.
Yes.
Cold, wet, rain, muddy. There are days, it's just gray from one end of the sky to the other.
Rock salt instead of ice melt because it's cheap.
As we head into the springtime, or even kind of the back and forth that our region gets this time of year, a little thaw, a little freeze. It's just sloppy, muddy crap at that point.
Potholes.
Hopefully not in the entryway.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. What advice do you have for the cleaning company owner in being prepped for this, either communicating to their customer or just being ready to serve?
Well, that's it right there, is be ready. It's just like when I was a Cub Scout, always be prepared.
Yeah.
And you have to think a few months ahead when you're talking to your customers, because not all of your customers are facility management type people. Because smaller businesses, you might be dealing with administrative assistant. You might be dealing with an office manager. You might be dealing with a shipping and loading clerk, something like that. Thinking for them and thinking about what's upcoming. So yes, we're in the midst right now of winter wonderland. And as I kind of comment about ice melt and rock salts, most companies use rock salt because it's very inexpensive. They can spread it, get rid of the ice so that you don't have slip and falls. Well, that rock salt does a ton of damage. It does damage to the sidewalks outside the building, to the grass, to the plantings, all that type of stuff. Well, as harsh as it is on the outside of the building, when it gets dragged in, it's that harsh to the inside as well.
How so?
So if you have hard surface floors in your lobbies, or even if you have break rooms or kitchenettes that have vinyl composition tile, because there's still a lot of it around, it's going to eat the floor finishes off the floor. And it's going to dull that shine down, and it's going to wear up because it's going to just eat the stuff that's there. It'll also get in your carpets, and your carpets start feeling oily and slick, and it builds up, and it can get crusty. And I hear so many people telling me, oh, I can't sell carpet cleaning in the wintertime. That is exactly when you should be selling it, because you don't want carpet cleaning to be done after you can actually see the soils and feel the carpet fibers stuck together like pavement.
So let me ask you about that. Oftentimes, on the client side, the sale is strictly dollars, dollars, dollars. I get that. Everyone's watching their budget. Every business has a budget, an operational set of expenses. How does the cleaning company owner couch this, not to be manipulative, but to convey you are farther ahead if we do this at X date rather than not at all? How do they convey that?
Most janitorial companies and custodial services, even in-house operations, because they also operate on budgets, needs to educate the people that they're working for. Maybe it's a blog, maybe it's face-to-face, maybe it's a newsletter, maybe it's a podcast, anything like that, to educate them, because people are good at what they know and they do. And when you're working in facilities where you're not dealing with a true facilities manager, most of the people that work in those roles don't understand what the outside environment can do to damage the inside environment.
Okay.
Even a podcast that we did on walk-off mats. They don't realize that increasing the number of walk mats, what they're saying, oh my gosh, that's an increase in my cost, that is going to actually help reduce their overall cleaning costs by holding the dirt towards the front of the building instead of bringing it through the building.
I remember you talking about how long a walk space we need to actually get the soil off the shoes,
so that it's not tracked to the back or up several floors or flights. And these are the things that we're educated on, that we need to make sure that we're letting our clients know that we're the expert. We're the expert at what we do. And in our industry, we're often disrespected because we're not taking advantage of trying to educate people the right way. We just let them talk down to us. And then we frustrated. We're sitting in our vehicle on the way out of the meeting, and we're frustrated. Like, wow, they said this and they said that about me and my company and my staff. And, we're just as important. Were we not one of the industries that was part of getting things right after COVID happened?
You are an essential worker, Joel.
We are an essential worker, but we have to educate ourselves like we're an essential worker and make sure that we are up to date on trends, on technology, things that are going to make a difference to help facilities in general look better, be safer, be cleaner, and that things don't have to be replaced as often because we're taking care of them properly.
I think, in particular, that replacement cost, I didn't realize until you described the damage that the rock salt is doing to a vinyl tile or other hard floor surfaces wasn't just that haze that had become liquid and then dried. It was actually eating the finish.
It will.
And if I've been sitting with you this long and I didn't know that, it makes me wonder what a customer actually knows.
And it's not to belittle them because they're good at what they do.
Right.
That's why they're a doctor, a dentist, a grocer, a manufacturer, a school, a church.
Joel, thank you.
You're welcome.